Morning news: the heads of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, refused to participate in negotiations with the United States on the situation in Ukraine and sanctions against the Russian energy sector. The Wall Street Journal writes about this. According to sources of the publication, the White House was going to organize telephone conversations between Biden, Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed of the UAE. The UN condemned Ukraine for trying to ban the evacuation of the population to Russia. Civilians should be able to evacuate from the war zone to wherever they want. This was stated by the official representative of the UN Secretary-General Stephane Dujarric. He expressed this opinion due to the fact that the Ukrainian authorities are trying to prohibit civilians from leaving the green corridors from the Special Operations Zone to Russia. Our position is simple: people should be able to go wherever they want, Dujarric said. The UK government has banned its military from going to Ukraine. The leadership of the Ministry of Defence of the United Kingdom has banned royal servicemen from going to Ukraine. In case of violation of the ban, the military will face disciplinary and administrative punishment. The order concerns those soldiers who are serving and those who are on leave. All military personnel are prohibited from going to Ukraine until further notice. This applies to military personnel, regardless of whether they are on leave or not, The Independent writes about this. It is known that 4 British servicemen are already missing. The Ministry of Defense believes that they could have gone to Ukraine. Jair Bolsonaro: Vladimir Putin is the most powerful man in the world. Russian President Vladimir Putin is among the most powerful people on the planet. This opinion was expressed by Brazilian leader Jair Bolsonaro. He told about this, recalling the recent summit with Putin. Bolsonaro gratefully noted the words of the Russian leader's support for Brazil's sovereignty over the Amazon forests. A few weeks ago, I met with one of the most powerful people in the world. He is going through a conflict with a neighboring country. We talked with him for almost 3 hours, just us and our translators, about strategic issues, Bolsonaro said. He said that he was not going to support UN resolutions condemning Russia. The Brazilian leader also admitted that it is not easy for him to make any decisions, since the lives of the population of the republic depend on them. The Ministry of Industry and Trade promised to accelerate the creation of an import-substituted Sukhoi Superjet 100. Now the Russian aircraft industry is facing the task of import substitution of all systems and aggregates. Engineers will accelerate the creation of a new version of the Sukhoi Superjet 100 aircraft, the Ministry of Industry and Trade reported. An import-substituted version of the domestic SSJ-100 aircraft will require a PD-8 engine. Its certification should take place earlier than planned, in 12 to 14 months. The head of the Ministry of Industry and Trade of Russia, Denis Manturov, set the task to ensure the certification of this engine in a shorter period than previously planned, in the next 12 to 14 months. The timing of work on the import-substituted SSJ will be accelerated, the ministry said in a statement. Zakharova: the presence of U.S. biological laboratories in Ukraine changes the picture of Washington's involvement. American biological laboratories on the territory of Ukraine pose a direct threat to Russia. So says the official representative of the Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova. According to Zakharova, information about the presence of U.S. laboratories in Ukraine, where military experiments in the biological field are carried out, allows us to adjust the scale of the involvement of states in the conflict on Ukrainian territory. If it is the activity of biological laboratories in Ukraine, and there is no stopping it now, then all this will be uncontrolled, and it would be uncontrolled and would be subject exclusively to those forces, extremist, which, in principle, it seems to me, no longer obey themselves, let alone anyone else, RIA Novosti quoted Zakharova as saying. A representative of the Russian Foreign Ministry called American biolabs an instrument of direct threat to Russia. At the same time, Zakharova stressed that they had begun work on an emergency development plan against the background of a special operation of the Russian Federation.